Hi there everyone, I'm Josh James, owner and host of LaughAlotGamers. Thank you so much for 10 years of LaughAlotGamers. It means a ton to us that you've been willing to stick with us for this long. Honestly, words can't express how insane it is to me that we've been doing this for 10 years. It's all thanks to everyone in part that's helped work on this channel, everyone that's watched our videos, everyone that's left a comment, anyone that's even remotely invested any time into the channel. Thank you so much for coming along on this journey with us. For the 10th anniversary, we did want to do a little retrospective here. One of the things we've done in the past is retrospectives of certain events, whether that's how any one of us met the other person and how any one of us had become involved with the channel, or plainly making videos about how we were stepping away in regards to life. It's not the first time we've done a video like this, however, for the 10th anniversary, we wanted to do something special this time. We wanted to take what people expect from us and put that much more effort into it. Whether you're an old subscriber and you've been here forever or a new subscriber, we want to thank you so much for subscribing and being along with us for the ride. I want to take you back where it all began. 10 years ago, 2012.
Hey, I'm Grump. I'm not so Grump. And we're the Game Grumps.
Game Grumps is born. One of many key events that would actually be the catalyst of what you would come to know as LaughAlotGamers as you know it. Aaron and I were always particular to doing something on YouTube. We weren't sure exactly what we wanted to do. We weren't always seeing eye to eye on exactly what we wanted to do, but that's where Game Grumps came into play. See, we sat there for months trying to figure out what we wanted to do. Then Game Grumps launched. And our lives were changed from that moment forward. We knew that we wanted to make Let's Play content. We didn't know how to do it. We didn't know how we were going to come up with our concept. We didn't know what we were going to do for design. All we knew was that there was this crazy new channel that at the time was being run by Aaron Hansen and John Jafari. We know how that turned out. But it was enough to kick us off on our journey there. Honestly, if it weren't for Game Grumps, I don't believe we would be here today. Cut to December 28th of 2012, the Boxing Day that had just passed. I had built my first computer. I had invited Aaron over to the house. We sat down and we said, today's the day, what are we doing? And Aaron mentioned the fact that we did not have a channel, so we scrambled to come up with a name. I think we probably spent about 2 hours trying to think of a name, and funnily enough, it was Aaron that came up with the name LaughAlotGamers. We were trying to come up with something that had enough punch to stand out, but also paid homage to our roots, and that's where the name LaughAlotGamers comes from. Aaron just spat it out, and it stuck. We ran with it. Immediately, we started to work on branding. Immediately, we started to get ideas and different things in mind. We knew the Game Grumps had a theme song, so we needed a theme song. We knew that the Game Grumps had a style, so we knew we needed a style. We knew that the Game Grumps had design, so we needed design. What we didn't know was that we needed the equipment. At the time when we started, I was using a Turtle Beach headset to record our episodes. So all the first episodes that you see, including that first episode of Survivor, and those subsequent episodes of Ocarina of Time that I had recorded with our friend Jake, those were all recorded on a Turtle Beach headset that I just happened to have because we were playing Xbox 360 back at that point. Another thing that I'd like to mention, there were videos that we had made that ultimately got scrapped and that honestly you guys will never see again. We deleted them out of pure embarrassment of the quality. The first episode that we recorded wasn't actually Survivors, but it was actually Saints Row the Third, and it was just us riding around on broomsticks, and that was the episode. And we didn't say much of anything, so we figured maybe we should use the other thing. So Survivors became the first episode of the channel. As time went on, we started to realize that what Aaron and I were doing wasn't quite what we had envisioned for the channel. Ultimately, Aaron stepped back and left the channel to me to figure out. So during that time, I was scrambling to figure out exactly what to do with the channel. And our dear friend, who is no longer with us sadly, Jake Lattiser, he stepped up. Where Aaron was unavailable to get things going and he was struggling to come up with ideas to help forward the channel's progress, Jake really took the reins and jumped right into it with me. To say that Jake was a huge part of the channel would be an understatement.
He's selling masks. Oh, man.
Oh, no! Shit, don't do that. You scared the shit out of me.
Kicking off that first year was tough. It certainly warrants every ounce of respect that we had for him, both as an individual and someone who worked on this channel. Continuing on with year one was a lot of experimentation. One of the things that we noticed early on was that commentary was difficult on games that were new to us. So to fix that, I basically made the executive decision as the owner of the channel to play games that I was familiar with. So Ocarina of Time was the first thing. Those first 2 episodes that I had recorded on my own aren't on the channel anymore because it was just me sitting in silence and occasionally pepping up. So I figured that's probably not the legacy we want to have as an early start to the channel. That's why when you look at our old videos, it starts with part 3 and then eventually cycles back to part 1 and 2 later, because we had to go back and re-record those and really polish them up and really give them the quality that they deserved. There were so many growing pains during year 1. A lot of it was down to equipment and scheduling and just trying to figure out what we were going to do as LaughAlotGamers. We knew we didn't want to be Game Grumps 2. We wanted to really set ourselves apart for our personalities, which that's the expectation with any Let's Play channel. If you can't set yourself apart as a Let's Player, then you're really not bringing a whole lot to the table, and that's the shocking and scary thing about doing Let's Play channels, is that ultimately it does come down to what are you doing to stand out from everyone else. One of the big issues that we faced during the year was growing the cast, and we knew that we had to expand. We knew that we needed more people on the team, so I was more than happy to have Jake join on. I would say Jake really carried that first year of LaughAlotGamers. Although Aaron, he started the channel with me and really came back in for the fall and winter of that year, I would say that the MVP of year 1 definitely had to have been Jake, for sure. He showed up all the time. He was ready and willing to make content. Basically every weekend we would record some videos, whether or not it was 1 or 2 or a handful, because our workload at the time was really what can we fit in around a school schedule. You gotta remember, this is 10 years ago. We were 15 when this all started. There's not a whole lot to say about year 1. We didn't know who we were as people yet, so you'll notice that when you go back to those videos, it's a lot of observational humor, a lot of teenagers just going haha, funny face, and rolling with that and pretending like that's a joke. That's a lot of why when we go back and we review those videos, it's a little bit painful to say the least. I would have preferred us to have gained life experience before diving into this whole thing, but to be completely fair about that too, had we not started it back then when we were kids, I don't know that we would have started the channel at all. Some of the most primitive YouTube channels with nothing to offer at the start with kids trying things out, and that's exactly who we were. We were kids. That's year 1, and that's how we made it happen.
Far bigger than Hyrule is the rest of the world. You don't fucking say.
You said Golden Gun was fair. Fucking Golden Gun's my asshole.
Whoa!
That was perfect timing.
Year 2 was interesting. I would say year 2 is sort of where the equipment had improved. We started to figure out what we wanted from the channel, as well as ourselves developing into the people we would eventually become. We started to have a greater understanding of what this was going to be. One of the special things about year 2 as well, nearing towards that first year anniversary, we had a member of the cast who joined us closer towards the end of year 1. He had joined me for 2 episodes and an episode that was lost to time, and things didn't work out. He didn't fit in with the group, and ultimately that's a person who to this day I still see in town. We still come across each other in public, and that was Matt. So Fraser had joined us at the end of that first year. He became a key player for a very short amount of time. I would say Fraser's contributions to the channel, Fraser had heard that Jake was doing YouTube videos. Jake had shown shown him some of the videos that he and I had made, and Fraser had tagged in. He brought something to the table that none of us were really even thinking of, and that was just dry humor and sarcasm. Not backhanded sarcasm. You never felt like Fraser was trying to put you down or trying to belittle your intelligence. He was always very particular about that. And as year 2 went on, Fraser had fizzled out. Jake had come back into the fold after taking a break, and things went on. Aaron and I had finished a series. Jake and I would go on to start many series that we would eventually not finish because we were just trying different things, and we always knew that we couldn't keep up with the same output that other big YouTubers were. We just did whatever we could to stay afloat at the time. That, I find, is supremely evident in year 2 in the way that it was presented. Towards the end of year 2 is also when Travis joined the channel, and Travis was great. I mean, as you guys are aware, Travis is still to this day a key player in the channel's success. Travis is the Stephen Wright that we needed. The dry sensibility and the strong will to fight anyone on their point of view if he didn't agree with it. It always makes for good content, as you guys are fully aware. I would say around summer of year 2 is when Kyle had joined. Now, Kyle and I had started our Pokemon Emerald series as Jake and I had our battles with the channel and how scheduling was going, because Jake was always sort of struggling with his life and his school life, and it made things difficult, but this was where growing the cast for the channel really benefited. We would go on to make more content in year 2 than we had even thought was possible for the channel, especially as students. We like to remember year 2 more for, I would say, moments. There were moments in year 2 that were really fun and really great, but to this day, we still kind of think back as those early years of the channel as who didn't really have a place in the content space. We were always trying to maintain direction. It was difficult. We had to make a ton of sacrifices just to make the channel work.
Those are some good Daft Punk shades, Harry. This is a bronze wizard.
It must be the button mapping.
No, yes, it mapped every single fucking possible button on a fucking Sega Genesis controller.
Let's try.
Fuck you! Fuck you!
Year 3 is when I would say we matured quite a bit. I would say our humor almost entirely evolved at 2015. We started to develop who we were. We started to understand what people wanted from us, and we started to understand where we fit in. Ultimately, year 3, I would say, is where we had decided that this is who we are, take it or leave it, and where we started to really step up. Year 3 and 4 were difficult for many reasons, but I know that year 3 and 4, there was a lot going on around personal stuff, because 2015 is when we graduated high school, so our lives were changing rapidly. And as we were growing up and out of our childish ways, we started to evolve. We also started to peel away from each other a little bit. I would say that one of my biggest regrets of year 3 and 4, not pursuing stronger, we had stumbled into a high. We knew we had what it took to make it happen, but we were also really focused on things like getting into college, moving up and on and out of our parents' homes, and not just trying to find out who we were for the channel, but trying to discover who we were as new adults. As you're 18 and you're starting to enter into society, these things take hold and they take effect, and it was challenging for sure. I would say 2015 and 16, it came down to a lot of growing pains and a lot of battles over whether or not we should even continue. There's a huge reason as to why 2015 and 16, there was a huge shift in perspective there, and a lot of questions to me and me to the cast whether or not we should even continue with it. I'm glad that we decided to take that step back in. There's no bigger example of what that step looks like than with year 5.
Shut the hell up!
That's so fucking annoying.
Someone's gonna take it before you get there. Fuck that fuck. Oh yeah. Your work is within firing range, even though you had him down.
Year 5 was when we had really tried to break free from the norm. We decided, okay, well, we're not going to be Let's Players anymore. We're going to be a highlight channel. So we started recording what was popular at the time. We were playing Star Wars Battlefront. We were playing Battlefield, Ark. We were pretty much hell-bent on breaking into the mainstream in 2017. And I think that's hugely evident by the type of videos we were making and exactly what we were playing at that time. We had started to theme our schedule. We had Aaron days. We had Kyle days. We had gone as far as to start buying codes for people and do giveaways, and that was supremely popular around that time, where channels would just go out and buy gift cards for people, and we thought that if they can make it happen, why can't we? I would call year 5 the tryhard year. I wouldn't say it's a stretch at all to say that year 5, we really tried to break free of our past and become mainstream YouTubers. Aaron and I had learned more about editing at that point and about content creation and quality control, and there were so many advantages to the content we were making for that point in time, but at the same time, us trying too hard was ultimately what would lead to what is a dark point in our history, which is the Great Hiatus of 2018. "2018 is when things started to go downhill and go downhill hard. Personal fights started to break out left and right. It's not a time any of us like to look back on, to be completely honest. It started a 2-year hiatus. I went as far as to say that we were done at that point in time. We had finished year 5 and we were ramping up for the 2018 season, and there was a big blowout between Kyle and I. With Kyle's departure, Aaron also fizzled out because of stress that if that was going to happen with Kyle and I, then where was he going to fit into all of this? By the end of 2016, Travis and Jake were nowhere to be found, so I had no choice but to make that hard decision of shut it down. Basically, there was nothing. It's a very dark and lonely part of the channel's history, and a lot of us were struggling with adulthood, and a lot of us were struggling with life and developing depression and battling our own inner demons. None of us had the will to continue. It was really not a good time to be a part of our friend group at that time. We were supremely toxic with each other for a long period of time there.
What would happen if that was like something serious? Like, oh, that guy's got a knife and he pulled out a gun.
Moles are blind! Everyone! From birth!
Grabs his ass. Colonel Heinz. Snake!
And then came 2020. 2020 was the great return of the channel. Travis and I sat down during the pandemic once things started to ease off a bit during that summer. We just said, fuck it, let's throw the mic down, let's record some Monopoly, and see where it goes. We did not expect to love it so much. We did not expect to sit down and discover just how much we were missing the channel and all the work we were doing. It was quite profound. Not only was it literally the marker of us coming back, as far as how far we were willing to go to make it happen and to make the channel rise up from the ashes. It would not be a stretch by any means to say LaughAlotGamers 2.0 really happened in 2020. As time went on, you know, we started to develop our workflow. We started to post episodes every Wednesday and Friday. So much so that before long, we had crossed over a threshold where we'd made more content than we had ever made on the channel consistently over a period of time. We were meeting constantly. We were always recording content. 2020 is also when Chase stepped in. We were hanging out and Chase joined the cast during that year. And that's when he and I sat down and did Link's Awakening, which still, I would say to this day, if it's not the magnum opus of LaughAlotGamers, I would certainly say it was 2020's big thing. I can't stress the importance of what 2020 meant for the channel as far as where we are now. It's very interesting to see the dynamic of what we were trying to be in the past and then what we would become later. Like 2020 was really the get down and get to it year. Was also when I reconnected with Kyle. We had figured out our differences and really reconnected both as friends and as people who love to work on stuff together. 2020 will stick with me more for what we accomplished as a channel than anything remotely connected to the pandemic. Now, 2021 was a dark period. We were seeing the great successes of being back and being consistent. It was also when we lost Jake, both a dear personal friend and a huge part of this channel. Like I said before, if he hadn't been here on this channel, I don't think that LaughAlotGamers would have stuck around. There's a whole video that the day that I heard that he had passed away, I got a call at work and I came home and I broke down. It was a very dark period. You know, you sit there and you think about the struggles that people go through, and, you know, at no point do you really think that's going to happen to someone I know, or it's not going to happen to me. And it happened. Like, we lost one of our, if not all of us, many of us saw Jake as more than a friend. I would go as far as to say that Jake was like a brother to us. And losing him will always leave an enormous hole in the channel, and we'll never be able to fill the hole that Jake left when he passed away. It's not without trying. It's something that we still to this day struggle with and fall into fits of depression and sadness and just grief. It was a difficult time, but I think with all of the dedication of the guys, and I feel like Jake would have honored any one of our memories the same way we try to do our best to honor him. Also, I just want to quickly mention as well, I noticed in my editing, I didn't even mention Liam for 2021. You've been such an amazing help, and you've been a joy to have on the channel. So while 2021 does take the cake for being easily our most dark year on the channel's history, you also helped a huge deal in bringing the light back into the channel. I thank you for that, personally. Thank you.
Can you tell me where you were on the night of January 26th?
Fuck!
Look, I wasn't in that restaurant, if that's what you want to know.
Oh, why did I do that?
Oh, that this was an investigation into the restaurant murder.
But you said...
but this is like, what are you, sick?
And that's how my story...
I'm a fucking idiot. What can I say? Bamboozled again. I dodged like 8-foot-tall termites just to say that shit.
I am going somewhere.
You're going into nothing.
Oh my god, the scariest thing ever.
Shit.
I've just met him. My name's
Could you imagine fucking a bag of Cabbage Patch Kids? Not Cabbage Patch.
That's
not a Cabbage Patch.
He's literally done because he has to face the electric one again, and he's gonna get hit because he's fucking useless.
These knees and these knees.
Wash those knees.
These knees?
Oh my god. We're so stupid.
2022 is where we find ourselves today. 2022 has had some hurdles, and a lot of that has come down to life, as it does. But we've also come up with some of our best stuff during this year, and it's kind of interesting to see how things evolve as time goes on. We never seem to fully appreciate how much the channel means to us until we look at the videos and we get to crack a smile and laugh about stuff. And I've done more laughing in these past couple years than I have in my entire life, and that's in every part due to the connection that I have with these guys. And speaking of the guys, I do have some questions I'd love to address to them directly, so without further ado, we'll get into the interview segment. Okay, so asking you the tough questions today.
Okay.
Unless it's if I did a murder, the answer is no.
Hopefully I don't keep looking at myself in the corner of this screen.
So how did we meet?
I can't even really remember, but it was like probably like somewhere in grade 3 or something like that.
You
Maybe even before.
Like, you have different versions of this, because
I always think it's grade 3, but I think it's earlier.
Yeah, you and I definitely met in senior kindergarten, I remember, because in grade 1, when we were split classes again, you were... Do you remember that we had that L-shaped thing in our school? There was the classrooms were connected, then there's like a little hallway for our stuff that connected the 2 classrooms.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I do remember that. Yeah. I remember Miss... I think it was something like that.
That was our 3rd grade teacher.
Yeah, she came over to my house and like brought home homework or something that I forgot at the place because I kept forgetting my homework.
Dedication to the craft.
As you can tell,
kids miserable.
Smart student here, boy. Hell yeah.
I guess it would have been art class in the 9th grade, but we didn't really talk. Like, you kind of sat across the class, but we actually got to know each other in like the vocals in the recording class. We liked the same music, and you liked games and I liked games. Like, it was just like, we like the same stuff. We're in all the same classes. We should probably be friends now.
English or religion class, I think.
I think actually the first class you and I had together was probably math.
Was it?
Yeah, I think so, because I was bugging you for your Modern Warfare 3 dog tag thing.
True.
Like, can I have that? You're like, no, I don't know you.
True.
Would have been high school.
I have this issue with Aaron, too. You and I first met in 3rd grade.
Yeah, we did. Oh my god. Damn, dude. And we used to play The Floor is Lava. That was the shit, man. That was so good. I remember Aaron was there, too. Holy shit. I remember that beside the basketball court. The good old days. Back when life was simpler. And the floor was only made out of lava.
Oh, it was through Travis, obviously. All I remember is he was like, I'm going to go see a Dragon Ball Z movie. I think it was Resurrection F. But I remember he was like, I'm going to go see this with my friend Josh. And he asked me to come. And I remember then we stayed at your house. And I beat you both in Mario Party and pissed Travis off because I am Mario Party master and never lose. After all that, we ended up going to the movie theater, and I didn't even watch the movie because it ended up getting sold out because I didn't buy a ticket in advance like a smart person. I ended up having to watch Mission Impossible. I mean, it wasn't a bad movie. Someone didn't show up and to sit beside you guys, and it was an empty seat that I could have sat in. That was the first time that I met you. After that, we just kind of hung out. That was the start.
If you can recall, what made you want to join up with LaughAlotGamers? You and I really sort of started this whole thing.
We started it. The whole reason we did that, I think, was just because we were doing different things at the time beforehand, before L.A.G. Like 2011 and say 2010, we were trying to do like stick videos on like Movie Maker. I even still have one, actually. We did that, and we were just trying to look for like an outlet. You were really into Game Grumps at the time because they were just coming out, and then as soon as that happened, we're just like, yeah, we gotta make something like that.
I remember always being like enamored by the YouTube thing, but like never understanding how to like do it, and never having the means to do it because I live literally in the bush, so like that wasn't gonna happen. But I remember I had like a group of friends that was like considering wanting to do something like what you guys were doing at the time. Then you invited me over to like kind of try it out. We just kind of got off so good that I think we kind of just mutually were like, let's do this.
We were hanging out and it was something to do.
Fun times. The good old memes and laughs. Yeah.
To be honest, I don't think anything necessarily made me want to join. I remember the channel was like dead at that time, and we just randomly streamed on Twitch Mario Kart and Mario Party, and then you just threw it up on the channel, and then I just kind of like merged and joined. I obviously watched YouTube and Twitch and everything. Obviously I knew about it and I thought it'd be cool to do. I was like, hey, why not? It'd be fun to do with friends. So here we are.
If you could go back and relive any series, which would it be and why?
Luigi U.
Luigi U, the one we did with Kyle?
Yeah, that was fun. I like doing the older, like, side-scroller games.
That's one that we could definitely, like, even still to this day, go back, replay, and finish. Just gotta get you and Kyle in a room at the same time.
Oh, dude, you know my answer on that one. We're getting through Pokemon Emerald, and we're finishing the pain on that one. Losing the footage the first time, and then the second time just not even being able to beat that old, stupid piece of trash.
Maybe the Harry Potter one that we did for one episode, because that was really funny.
We could totally do that too, because that game is like 3 hours long.
You'll never recreate that moment though.
The Daft Punk shade. Oh yeah, how do you...
Danky Kang 2.0.
The one that we did with Travis after halfway?
Yeah, that'd be fun. I think we should revisit. Or just sit down and do like anything. I don't know. All of it's pretty fun.
It would have to be Link's Awakening. That's like the magnum opus of you and me recording. I don't think it'll ever get any better than that. Those episodes were really like actually fun to do. The most fun out of everything else, I feel. I'd say that. And then as far as like series I'd want to revisit, I kind of would want to revisit Ratchet and Clank. I feel like that could have been better. Like it was still good, but I feel like we could have done more with it. That glitch at the beginning was something else, but the latter half, it was mostly just us just being like, we're done with this. It is what it is. It's still a good series, I find. But Zelda is just great all the way through.
Are there any games you'd like to play on the channel that we haven't done yet?
Yes, actually, there's a game that I've been looking at. It's for PS4, I think. It's called Blazing Chrome. It's almost like Contra. It's got some really sweet gameplay. It's widescreen, so it's not like you got your little 4x3. I haven't really played any of it, but it looks pretty promising.
Wasn't there a Legend of Zelda game where you could be like the 4 little Link dudes? Multiplayer Zelda themed, I think, would have been something really cool, given that that's kind of your thing as like the showrunner, and then like 3 of us who like kind of don't really know what's going on. You're like, come on guys, let's go. And we're just like, ah, been really solid content.
Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door.
I have it, so we can definitely do it.
Mario 64.
Okay.
Yeah, straight up.
It's simple enough.
That was the first Nintendo game I ever played.
Mine too.
Pretty fucking sick. Pretty classic.
That's not an easy question because there are so many games. We've always talked about doing Metroid. I would still like to do a Metroid game of some kind. I'd like to do Metroid Prime at some point, whether it be 1 or 2. Maybe dive into like a Mega Man game. The Battle Network games, those are probably my favorite Mega Man games ever. I don't know if that's going to upset anyone, but those are the games for me. They were just so good. 2023 is going to have a bunch of new titles. There's a lot to choose from.
What does the channel mean to you personally?
It means a lot. There's a lot of memories there. Looking back at a lot of the stuff from 2012, it's weird watching it, but at the same time, it's like, oh yeah, that's where we were at this point in time. It's almost like a tattoo kind of thing where people like get a tattoo or it's like, oh, I was in this place at this time when I was 16. I can just go back and open a L.A.G video and be like, oh yeah, this is like where I was this time. I think I matured a little bit since then, but I'm still fucked up, so...
Friendship, bro. That's like not some corny crap. That's like 10 years of memories and our friendship. It's like a time capsule of all the fun times we had hanging out. There's a lot of people that have that. Sure, like you have your stupid Facebook and Instagram pages where your butt's hanging out every 4th picture. I don't know, like this is more fun. It was something really special. And even if one day we just decided to just stop, I would hope that it would just stay too. It's a time capsule. Like I can't stress that enough. I can go back, and bringing this up is tough. I did it today actually, where I pulled up a video where I could listen to Jake. There's people out there where I can't hear their voice anymore, and I can hear Jake's, and that's special.
I guess it's just fun to do with friends.
Good times with my buds. That's what it is. Always so fun.
I've only been on the channel 2.5-ish years. I'm sure it doesn't mean as much to me as like everybody else. It still does mean a lot to me because it's like you guys always said, it's like memories on demand. You could go and look at a video you've done and then all of a sudden you remember what you were doing at that time or listening to it, you know, like what was going on at the time in the world of your life or whatever. As people that probably know, I've been MIA for a little bit. So seeing videos you guys have done, I haven't been able to see you guys. Watching the videos you guys have done, kind of, you know what's going on and see you guys in a way. It's kind of cool in that way too. It's meaningful in that way for sure. Memories, and you can always see your friends.
Would you say that the channel has been a significant part of our friendship? Has it made us better friends, or the channel's gotten in the way of our friendship at some times?
I think it made us more responsible, kind of prepared us to have more of a drive to create things and stuff like that. If we didn't have the L.A.G channel back then, I don't know what we'd be doing, because we had a schedule, this time, this date, let's make a video. I think it really made us structured in that way. It even still shows today. It's even better now because Josh has got the whole Wednesday things. I don't know if it's Wednesday now. Is it still till Wednesday?
It's just Friday right
Just
now.
Friday? Okay. I've always had the schedule, and it's been like since 2012. Off and on, obviously. We've had our ups and downs with the channel, but I think every channel's like that.
I think if we ever had problems, it was always outside of the work. I think the work was always fun. It was always good times. And even when it got stressful and we really tried to push, it was because we wanted it. Even when I look back on the times when I didn't think it was fun, it was still fun. In comparison to some of the bullshit life throws you with as you get older. Seems like almost yesterday that we were starting this thing off before the 50 sub mark. It doesn't seem all that long ago. Crazy how quickly it's all flown by.
I would say it's a part of our friendship. Our friendship definitely doesn't hinge on it. I don't know.
Remember that time we hated each other, and then you took me to Burger King, and we made up? Not even lying. No, dude. What was the question? This has been amazing. Definitely made us better friends, for sure.
I feel like it's been pretty significant in our friendship. A lot of the time when we hang out, we would record. Obviously, doing that, you get to know each other better, especially when you get into those deep conversations of some things people probably don't really want or need to know. Of course, it brings you closer together as friends. It does play a role. As far as downside, obviously there's negatives to it too, because me and Travis, we'd rather just go out and hang out somewhere or in the summer or something and not record. Obviously, we need footage, so we have to record some stuff, right? So, but other than that, not really anything, I guess. Just sometimes it gets in the way of something else we want to do at that specific day or something. We can always do it another day. It's not a big deal.
Do you have any regrets about being a part of LaughAlotGamers?
At one point, yeah, I would have said yes. I just cringe at a lot of my videos and I'd be embarrassed of them, but at this point in my life, I really don't see it as really cringy anymore. Some of the stuff still is, but I can look at it and just laugh at it now and I can just be like, yeah, that's funny. That's where I'm at with it.
There's a lot of people out there that would think that this type of thing's embarrassing. This is my homies. There was a time when I stepped away from the show for a bit to focus on doing music and stuff. I'm kind of in a position that's kind of like that now too. I still talk about this. And people know about this. I live in a house with my bandmates where I told them I'm sitting on a phone call with my homie Josh reminiscing about LaughAlotGamers. If I were to sit here and tell you that I regretted anything about this, then I shouldn't have even have a right to have been asked to be a part of it in the first place, right? This has kind of been your baby. And if I were to sit there and feel like that, I don't think that'd be fair to the opportunity you've given me. The opportunity to be friends with everybody. Before we started being friends, the show was kind of what was on the surface level at first. It was through that we were kind of like, holy crap, we're actually really alike. You giving me the opportunity to come into your home and giving me that chance, it opened more doors than just a silly little YouTube channel. I met some of my closest friends and made some of the biggest decisions in my life with some of these people. Yeah, it's a lot bigger than, yeah. Without you, I wouldn't have been as close with Aaron or Travis or Jake or any of the lads. It was through this that I forged some of the closest bonds I've made in my life. For that, I'm forever grateful.
Nope, not really.
These are pretty typical Travis answers.
No, none.
I mean, the short answer is no regrets at all, because why would I? Just playing games with friends and having a good time.
If this was to be our last video, would you be satisfied with what we've done together on the channel?
I'm never satisfied. I always want to keep pushing more and more. But the thing is, it's just our time schedules and everything is very hard these days because we're all adults now and we're not kids anymore. But I really enjoy doing it. I wish I can do more. I want to get back into it. I want to get back into gaming in general. I've taken a long break. Anybody on the channel who's seen me, it's been 2 years, I think. But even before that, I only did 2 or 3 videos or something like that. And in those 2 years prior to now, before that, we were I really don't know how to fully explain it. It's just I got to get my PC and stuff like that, and I got to get all up and going again. Right now, I got a Mac. I can't really run a bunch of games on there, but yeah, I'd be interested in doing something like that for sure. Yeah.
We didn't set out to break the mold or anything. We set out to just have fun. And we did. It may be a simple goal, but we achieved it. I can go on and watch a funny video of you and me playing Pokemon. You and Travis yelling at each other about Mario Party. That's fun, man. We achieved our goal.
Yeah.
Fucking
No, let's keep going. A lot more to do.
I would say, yeah. It's been short, obviously. Like I said, Legend of Zelda, Link's Awakening, that's the magnum opus for me. Like, I don't think anything I do on here is ever going to be as good as that. Obviously, Ocarina of Time has been a good series. The Kirby series, I was shit at the end. Every series we've done has been good. I mean, if it ended, I'd be happy with what we've done, and it's all been good.
Any final thoughts? Anything to send off?
Oh, I hope to see everybody in the new year. 2023, I think, is going to be a really good year, actually, for LAG. I say this about every year with LAG. It's, this is going to be the year. This is going to be the year. Honestly, we got a pretty solid crew. We've had our ups and downs in LAG. We lost somebody in LAG. You know, we just keep pushing it. Just going to keep going. That's just how LAG's always been. It's been a long haul.
It is special. 10 years is nothing to snuff at.
Congrats on 10 years, I guess, to everyone.
Awesome. There you go.
Let's make a video. Or a baby. Here's to 10 more years.
Thanks to everyone who ever watched us and dealt with our mediocre gameplay and very odd conversations and thoughts and Josh's constant whatever the heck he does in every video. I mean, it's 10 years. 10 is a lot. Hopefully, here's to 10 more. Hopefully, 23 is just as good of a year. That's about it, I'd say.
And no, that's usable.
Hey everybody, it's Fraser. For those that do remember me, just doing a quick shout out. Happy 10th anniversary to the LAG crew and the channel. Here's to 10 more. Look forward to playing some games with you guys. Yeah, congrats.
I think that our future looks good. I think that we have more to offer, and I think that we are prepared and ready to take LaughAlotGamers to the next step, both from the integration and usage of the Shorts platform and learning how the algorithm works better and really starting to take that more seriously. We've really seen leaps and bounds in the progress for the channel, so I think that with the 10-year anniversary and getting into that, I think we're ready. I think we're ready for that big step, so it's going to be interesting. I know that I had made a video not that long ago stressing how we were going to do more remote recording. It sounds like we all prefer the in-person interaction. The fact that we get the chance to still do this 10 years later, I couldn't be happier with the group of guys that I've connected with over these years to make this whole thing happen. I want to send out a heartfelt thank you to the guys and to all of you. Whether you've been here since the beginning or whether you're joining us for the first time as of today, if you're joining in the future, thank you so much. It means the world to us that you've chosen to give us a chance, and we greatly appreciate that. You'll never know how much it means to us. Thank you guys so much for 10 years of LaughAlotGamers. We could not have done this without you guys. Your support means the world to us, and we hope that we can continue to grow this whole thing together with you guys, and whether that's 5 years or another decade, we're willing to bring the content even if no one's here to watch it. It's difficult to express, but thank you so much. Thank you for 10 years of LaughAlotGamers, and we hope to see many more of you very soon. Take care, guys.